So, welcome. It's always such a pleasure to be here with you having these discussions, joined by my co host, Kelly Freeman, and she is our membership manager at the International Association of Yoga Therapists. I'm Marita Greenidge, and I am the marketing and communications manager here at IAYT. I'll tell you a little bit more about our lovely guests who are joining us here today. But before we get into that, we are going to start with a bit of centering. So, wherever you are, I just want you to settle into a very comfortable position, and you can choose to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And take a slow, full breath in. And then a long, easy breath out. And as you are inhaling, you are creating space. And as you're exhaling, you are exhaling anything you might have brought into this moment that doesn't serve you. And you're just in the space of noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. You're not trying to change anything with the breath, just noticing that natural rhythm. Noticing how your breath is arriving today. Maybe counting the length of your breaths, the lengths of your inhales, and noting if the inhale is longer than the exhale or vice versa. Or for some of us, it might be equal. Now we're going to try to inhale a little slower. And that's whatever that means for you. And you can exhale a little longer. So maybe it might work to add a count of maybe 1 or 2 to where your breath was at. And you're just breathing in, creating that space. And as you're breathing out, just let those shoulders relax, maybe soften by the jaw, relax by the forehead, and let any unnecessary tension just melt away. And maybe you extend that attention across the body. Just noticing if there are any spaces where there might still be additional tension. And you're just noticing these areas maybe with some kindness and some curiosity. And then when you're ready, sorry, something is happening here. Sorry, something is, maybe Kelly, you can assist with the mic. Yeah, sorry about that. And when you're ready, you can probably direct your breath into those spaces. And just letting that tension soften. And no force, just ease, just gentle ease, just creating space. And in these last few moments, maybe you can set an intention for today. Maybe it is curiosity or learning or just letting whatever unfold today. And just take a final few deep inhales and exhales. And then bring your awareness back into the space. Open your eyes if they were closed. Bring some more alertness to your eyes. And thank you again for those moments. So as I mentioned before, we are so glad you are joining us for this special preview of Global Yoga Therapy Day 2026. It's celebrated each year on August 14th, and it raises awareness and understanding of yoga therapy. Yoga therapy is a complementary healthcare modality grounded in both ancient wisdom and emerging science. And Global Yoga Therapy Day brings people together from around the world to learn, connect, and celebrate the profession of yoga therapy. So each year at IAYT, the International Association of Yoga Therapists, we mark this occasion by offering a full day of free online education and practice sessions. And these are open to everyone. So this year's theme, it's yoga therapy around the world, integration and impact. And it celebrates the many ways yoga therapy is growing around the world. And it's very inspiring to see the profession connecting people across cultures, expanding into new settings, and making a meaningful difference in people's lives. I think something is happening there with. Yes, there we go. Sorry for that. I think something might be happening with the mic. So we're bringing together CIAYTs, or certified yoga therapists, researchers, educators, and innovators from around the world to share their perspectives and celebrate the progress we've made together. So we also continue to grow Global Yoga Therapy Day every year, and we are excited that for the first time in 2026, the program is going to
Oh dear, it looks like we've lost Marita mid-sentence. I will happily continue. Oh, I think she's coming back in. I apologize we seem to be having a bit of tech troubles today.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see you.
Don't know what is going on with the technology today. Please bear with us. But yeah, so this year for the first time, we are including sessions that are of particular interest to mind-body researchers. So last year for the first time, we would have introduced sessions for the public. And we've always had sessions that were for yoga professionals and healthcare professionals as well. So today, as I mentioned before, I would tell you about our lovely guests, and we are joined by some of our 2026 presenters. We have Ashish, Dr. Rudra Bhandari, Heather Mason, and Dmitriadou, who will give you a preview of what you can look forward to on August 14th. And with that and all of my tech troubles, I'm going to hand you over to my colleague, Kelly, so she can share a little bit more about this year's event and some of the exciting updates for our 2026 celebration.
Thank you, Marita, and glad to have you back. So what's new for 2026? As Marita had mentioned, we are really excited to feature sessions for everyone from yoga professionals, researchers, and healthcare professionals, as well as sessions for the general public who are interested in learning how yoga therapy can help promote personal well-being. We are featuring 4 segments online this year, each offering a blend of short lectures with Q&A and guided practices to fit some movements and recentering into your day. We're also delighted to be collaborating with the Indian Yoga Association, who are curating the first segment of the day. CIAYTs, you can earn 2 continuing education credits, and we invite everyone, professionals and the public alike, to come and experience what makes yoga therapy so impactful. Our first segment of the day, beginning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time and presented in collaboration with the Indian Yoga Association, presentations include traditional perspectives on yoga as therapy, presented by Yogacharya S. Sridharan and Dr. N. Ganesh Rao, and moderated by Yogacharya Vinay Siddhaya. The next session is Modern Scientific Research Perspectives on Yoga Therapy, and that will be presented by Yogacharya Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani and Professor Dr. N.K. Manjunath, moderated by Dr. Balaji R. And this first segment will wrap up with yogic relaxation and contemplative practice by Yogacharini Anandi. In session 2, which starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, we continue the global journey to Beyond Knowledge, the translation competency of modern yoga therapists, presented by Tung An Pham in Vietnam. And we're really excited that Tung An will be presenting in his native tongue, Vietnamese, and you can follow along with captioning at the bottom of the screen. And Tung An has graciously agreed to also provide an English transcript following his session. After that, we go to the research spotlight, Advancing Yoga Therapy Through Evidence, with presentations from Ashish, who is here with us today, and Dr. Rudra Bhandari, also here today, and Cheryl Albright, who is from the United States. This session will wrap up with a practice from the UK given by Donna Noble and called Yoga for Everybody. In session 3, we continue on at 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time with Building Resilience Through Yoga Therapy in Conflict-Affected Communities. And that will be a panel discussion with Shanti Kaur Khalsa in the US and Gilad Sheffer in Israel, moderated by Dominique Ferreira Hawkins. And another panel, Careers in Yoga Therapy, Professional Pathways and Practice, moderated by Heather Mason, who's here with us today, and Robin Rothenberg. Heather's from the UK. Heather is based in the UK. She's an American. And Robin Rothenberg here in the US, joined by Mariam Ovisi, who is also in the US, and Rebel Tucker in Australia. And our next practice is an unfolding delivered by Adrienne Mischler of the United States. And we move to segment 4 and we wrap up the lineup with integration of yoga therapy from Evi Dmitriadou in Greece, who we'll also be hearing from in just a moment. And Yoga Therapy Without Borders, Expanding Beyond Clinical Settings from Stephanie Singleton in Okinawa. And our final practice that wraps up the day is Experiential Stress Relief for Healthcare Professionals, offered by Dr. Robin Tiger in the United States. So now let's hear from these presenters who have graciously joined us today. Marita?
Thank you, Kelly. So this year's Global Yoga Therapy Day theme shines a light on the people, ideas, and collaborations that are driving yoga therapy forward. And so I'm going to start with hearing from Ashish and Dr. Rudra Bhandari. And they are 2 of our research presenters who weren't able to travel from India to present in person at our annual SITAR conference. SITAR is our symposium on yoga therapy and research, and it was held in June this year. But we're really delighted that they are going to be able to join us online during Global Yoga Therapy Day. So a little bit about both of them. So Professor Rudra Bhandari is a yoga scholar with a doctorate in human consciousness and yoga science, and he has more than 15 years experience in higher education, research, and leadership in yoga. He currently serves as the principal and professor in the School of Yoga Sciences at Swami Rama Himalayan University in Dehradun, India, and is an academic editor for Wiley's Human Behavior and Emerging Technologies. Dr. Bhandari is recognized for his contributions to yoga education, curriculum development, and evidence-informed therapeutic and preventative yoga programs. He will be presenting his work on yogic management of hyperthyroidism in females, a randomized controlled trial. Ashish is a researcher and yoga therapy practitioner at Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya in Haridwar, India, and the recipient of the SITAR 2026 Yoga Young Investigator Award. His research focuses on evidence-based integrative approaches to chronic pain management, combining yoga therapy, music therapy, and neuroscience to develop scalable, scientifically validated models of holistic health and well-being. Ashish will be sharing his research on synergistic effects of integrated yoga and music therapy on chronic cervical pain, a randomized trial. So I'm going to start first with Dr. Bhandari, and your presentation, it explores the effects of yoga therapy for women with hyperthyroidism through a randomized controlled trial. So what actually inspired you to study this condition, and why do you think it's an important area for yoga therapy research today?
Right, namaste to everyone. My warm greetings to all dignitaries on behalf of Swami Rama Himalayan University, Dehradun, India. Yes, I conducted a randomized controlled trial to assess the effect of integrative yoga intervention on the hypothyroidism of the females. And I think this is a unique RCT to highlight the efficacy of integrated yoga practices for the mitigation of the hypothyroidism. And I was told to make my systematic presentation later on Yoga Therapy Day. Just as the quick highlights, I can make the point that, yoga therapy intervention in integrative way is efficacious to manage the hypothyroidism, particularly in females. So in the scenario of growing trend of hypothyroidism, I think that mind body intervention, including somatic manipulation, breath regulation, mindfulness, and meditation may be alternative option for the prevention and mitigation of the hypothyroidism. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Bhandari. So Bhandari.
As Professor Kelly, I think my systematic presentation is expected to be later on Yoga Therapy Day, isn't it?
I think that was directed to you, Kelly.
Yes. This session begins at, let me check again. Yours is at. I can send you an email. It's in session 2, but I will send you a follow-up email with this book. The session begins at 10 a.m. Eastern time, but I'll get your time in India, and I'll let you know again at exactly which time you'll be presenting.
Okay, thank you. This is of particular interest to me because it's a condition my mother suffered with, so I'm very interested to hear more about the research.
for the kind information of the all delegates on the webcast, this has been already published in psychoneuroendocrinology, and you can go through the details of the study there also. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We are going to move on to Ashish. And first, congratulations on receiving the 2026 Young Investigator Award. So, your research combines yoga therapy and music for chronic cervical pain, which is a very interesting combination. So, what inspired you to bring these two therapeutic approaches together, and what can attendees look forward to learning from your presentation?
First of all, thank you very much for the greetings. I would like to start with the one Gayatri Mantra recitation. If you know Gayatri Mantra, please recite with me. If you don't know, please close your eyes and please listen it willingly. ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वाहा तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. The question is very interesting why I thought that two therapies, if combined together, can make any significant difference. As a yoga therapy practitioner, and Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya has a very wide exposure of music, as we have a very profound practice of Nad Yoga. We do a special listening of a special music piece, which is a combination of flute, tabla, and tamru, and some classical musical instruments daily from 6 p.m. to 6:15 p.m. Then when I studied several literature evidences, I came to know that music is a very interesting and very impactful tool to successfully treat the depression, anxiety, tensions, and all of that stuff. It is evidence. There are evidences of reduction of the post-operation pains or post-surgical intervention pains reduction and all of that. Then I am a very profound practitioner of mantras and music. So I thought when I studied this population, the first thought came to me. I noticed in my university campus, even the yoga therapy students is having neck pain. So I come to a point, I find out that the cervical pain, chronic cervical pain, or any chronic pain in the body is come with comorbidities of anxiety, depression, stress, and tension, muscle stiffness. So I choose these two for the betterment and effective management. Yoga ease out the muscle tension, the structural integrity, and the movement and flexibility. And music go well with the dilution of all the tension, depression, and all of that neurological stuff. So so this research started with the point of the population. When I saw around in my own class of yoga therapy, we are 25 students, and 8 or 9 students, female students, are having cervical pain issues in very young age. So I little bit curious about the treatment of cervical pain, so I chose this topic. And then we get a very fantastic team. Dr. Shweta Dadia, a neurologist and neuroscience researcher from Dubai. She has an expert in brain waves and patterns. Then we have our HOD, Dr. Kamta Prasad Sahu. Then we have Dr. Suresh Lal Bharnwal. Professor Suresh Lal Bharnwal is one of the first professors in India in the field of yogic science. And he has done many studies on Nad Yoga music therapy. So we combined together yoga and music therapy, and we studied, and till now we are studying the effects, and this research will going to have us some fantastic follow-ups and all that stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish. And thank you as well for delivering that wonderful mantra at the beginning of talking with you. And thank you, Dr. Bhandari. We're really excited to learn more of your research on August 14th. Our next presenter, yes?
If I'm not wrong, with due respect, Professor Rudra Bhandari is also studied in our university, if I'm not wrong.
Ah, that could be. I don't know if he's still, I don't see him on camera, but that's interesting. Thank you for pointing that out. Next, we'll talk to, Dr. Bhandari, are you there?
Yes. Thank you very much for inviting me to join this webcast as the promotional activity of the Yoga Therapy Day. And it's my honor and privilege to be there to deliberate my session on 14th, particularly on the yogic management of hypothyroidism in females. As I rightly said with you, it's already is I will able to be also is also motivation therapy research. I want about the therapy day. Okay, it's my proud privilege to be invited and to share my ideas on the upcoming Yoga Therapy Day. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I'll share the details of my study on that day. And still, you have some queries, you can ask, please.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to you as well, Ashish. Next, we'll be talking with Heather Mason, who is the founder of the Minded Institute.
Am I audible?
Pardon? Oh. Sorry about that. Heather is the founder of the Minded Institute. I'm sorry, Dr. Bhandari, I'm having difficulty hearing you.
Am I audible to you?
I'm having difficulty.
Hello.
Yeah, we're having some difficulty hearing you.
Now it's okay?
I think so. Or you might have to say a couple more words.
It's all right. See, it's my honor and privilege to be invited in the Yoga Therapy Day. I'll deliberate my study there in detail. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you all there during my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Heather Mason is the founder of the Minded Institute, an internationally recognized yoga therapy school, and the Yoga in Healthcare Alliance, which promotes the integration of yoga into the UK's National Health Service. With a master's degrees in Buddhist studies, psychotherapy, and medical physiology, she's specialized in yoga therapy for mental health since 2007. And Heather's a leader in integrating yoga into healthcare, co-editor of Yoga for Mental Health, co-author on Yoga on Prescription, and co-developer of the world's first yoga therapy psychotherapy training program. And Heather is going to be co-moderating a panel discussion, Careers in Yoga Therapy, Professional Pathways and Practice, with Robin Rothenberg of Essential Yoga Therapy. And the careers panel will feature yoga therapists working across a variety of settings. Heather, what are you most excited for attendees to hear from the panelists, and what do you hope they'll take away about building a career in yoga therapy? Oh no, we can't hear you, Heather. One moment.
There we go. I unmuted myself. So firstly, this is part of a larger series that Robin and I are launching, and that I hope that we continue to work with IYT on. What we're hoping to hear from these individuals is what we're hoping to hear from yoga therapists in general, which is the myriad of different ways in which they're working. And my two colleagues who just spoke have given examples of the vast array of possibilities of where yoga therapy can be employed. And this is a field that, because of its whole person approach and because of the endless array of practices that are available, many of which are becoming increasingly evidence-based, that people can use with different kinds of health conditions, and also that can be brought into different sectors of society. So myself and Robin, we want to highlight this. We want to highlight this to the public in general. We want to let them know that there is this healthcare profession that is increasingly emerging that can meet so many domains of personhood. We also want the yoga therapy community to be excited to hear about what other people are doing, the headway that they are making, the emotional component where you see people's lives being changed when they are having access to yoga therapy, and that's individual stories and also in mass. We want to create community around this. So IYT does this phenomenal job of threading together people from all over the world. And what Robin and I want to do is continuously showcase people from all over the world that are doing this work in a non-formal setting, which is, basically a panel where people can talk about what they're doing, where people can ask questions, where there can be networking. And also, I think that every time we hear what somebody is doing, where they're having success within a particular pathway or sector, it sparks something, right? The idea of using music, for example, for pelvic pain, I think that is amazing. I'm personally really interested in the value of music for stress reduction, the cellular effects, how it's being used in dementia care and cancer care, and hearing that it's being used also in pelvic pain, that sparks my interest in additional possibilities. So we want to see that as well. And I think it's really important, especially for new yoga therapists, to know there are so many success stories out there, and to hear how somebody who just graduated went from, I'm just green in this profession, to I'm making a huge difference in individual lives or within systems. And for people that are aware of my work, I have been devoted to systems change, right? My dharma is to increase the awareness of yoga therapy's efficacy within healthcare systems and for the public, so that they're actually asking healthcare systems to have yoga therapy available. And that's a part of it. And I do want to also honor 3 of my trainees who put this together first just for their cohort. They wanted a panel, and that's Claire Page, Lisa Chapman, and Vicky Passay, because they wanted to know what would be possible when they graduated. And it went off like a house on fire, as we say in the UK. And I thought, we could really make this global. And Robin is somebody who I have partnered with before, who I have the highest respect for and really enjoy working with. And I asked her, what do you think? And she said, yeah, let's do this. So I'm really honored that the 2 of us have this opportunity for this larger launch at Global Yoga Therapy Day. And I'm extremely excited to hear not something specific, but what those individuals have to say, insights that I may not have gleaned before from somebody else, and for everybody else to learn from them, and for this to build momentum.
Heather, I agree. It's really inspiring as a yoga therapist myself to see where people are working, where the impact is being made, and what places we can still fit into where we're not, being utilized yet. And speaking of the work that you've done to help integrate yoga into systems like the NHS, looking ahead, where do you see the greatest opportunities for yoga therapists to make an impact in, let's say, the next 5 or 10 years?
Well, if we're speaking about the UK, it's within mental health. And I'm not just saying that because that's where I started. We have a mental health crisis here, which has actually been noted by the government. If anybody watched the maiden address, that's the inaugural address in the UK for the Prime Minister. He cited the mental health crisis in young people as being at the top of his administrative focal points. And yoga therapy is already being recognized within the mental health community as something efficacious. Almost every private hospital or healthcare clinic here now has a yoga therapist. So I think that's the real inroads. And I think that we're getting to a point, or I hope, that it's going to kind of be like, do you have pranayama and yoga therapy skills? Right? For a health professional, no, I don't. Oh, you better train. And do you have a yoga therapist on your team? No, I don't. Well, you're behind the times. I truly think that that's the case because there are so many different threads coming together. This week alone, I was at an event with Dr. Satbir Khalsa where he spoke for a foundation that is bringing spirituality into royal colleges across the UK, and there are many royal colleges for health, like Royal Colleges of Psychiatry, Oncology, etc. Then an event on how yoga could be included in the National Institutes of Clinical Excellence guidelines for generalized anxiety disorder, as there's this huge movement in the UK backed by 70 organizations and cross-parliamentary support to have them updated. And I'm really pushing, as is the yoga community, to have yoga and therapeutic yoga, it might not yet be yoga therapy, included. And then yesterday, with a colleague of mine who opened up a new yoga therapy center, we hosted an event in this stately home where we brought together physicians, political advocates, politicians, and yoga therapists to, again, push for yoga therapy's integration into healthcare. And so many people are already doing things and talking about mental health, but in different ways. Some were interested in perinatal mental health. Some were interested in PTSD. And I'll just end by saying that PTSD UK, which is the charity in this country that supports people with PTSD and works with government, universities, and people, supporting more than 100,000 people, works with the Minded Institute and actively is petitioning for yoga therapy. So I think it's going to be in mental health. And if it's going to be in any sector, it's either going to be in perinatal or it's going to be in trauma and PTSD. It's happening. Oh, can I say one more thing? I discovered, because I'm giving a talk next week, something that I don't know how was beyond my awareness. In 2008, the UK actually created national occupational standards for yoga therapists. The government has recognized this profession en masse for 18 years. It's only, as far as I understand, that the Veterans Administration in the United States in 2024 did something comparable. So the UK is really in a position to push things forward. And I'm calling on, if you're in the UK, or stakeholders to update those guidelines so we can bring this more and more into healthcare schools, occupational health, and also the criminal justice system.
Thank you for that, Heather. That's fascinating. This is what Global Yoga Therapy Day is all about. I mean, I just learned so much in that short period of time. And I know there's more to be expected on August 14th. So if you are out there listening to us, I really invite you to join us, or at least register so you can get the recordings for a short period of time to hear about all of these exciting developments. And this is what we need. This is what this collaboration is all about. Even the careers panel, so that we can understand what everyone is doing and we can learn from each other and see how we can move the profession forward. So thank you so much for that. I am going to move on to Evie Dmitriadou. And she's the founder and lead instructor of Yoga Therapy Greece, an IAYT accredited training program. She's a physiotherapist and a yoga therapist, and she's currently completing a master's degree in neuroscience and psychology of mental health at King's College London. So yeah, okay, see the connection here. Evie provides yoga therapy to individuals and small groups, teaching healthcare professionals, and has contributed to Yoga Therapy Today. That's our IAYT magazine, Yoga Magazine, and Athens Voice. So Evie, I'll let you tell everyone what your presentation will be called, but your work bridges physiotherapy, yoga therapy, and your study of neuroscience, reflecting what many would describe as the biopsychosocial spiritual approach to health. So what have your studies and clinical experience taught you about caring for the whole person rather than treating physical or mental health in isolation? I think you have to unmute yourself.
It's a pleasure to be present at another Global Yoga Therapy Day, sharing my views and my experience on integration of yoga therapy, because this is what I really do. I integrate yoga therapy to physiotherapy and psychology and neuroscience, and at the personal level and at the training level. And when I give yoga therapy, of course, in the society, in one-to-one or in a group setting. Yoga therapy is integrative per se, by itself, because we see the people, we see the individuals through the different layers of their being, different levels, through the Panchamaya Kosha. And gradually in medicine, they adopt the biopsychosocial approach. Still, as having studied first yoga therapy for 5 years, and then I have studied physiotherapy, I could see with the eyes of yoga therapists. So seeing all the levels of their being, trying to connect, to build a therapeutic alliance with a good intake, incorporate breathing on top of the movements, using evidence-based from physiotherapy, but also the wisdom of yoga, and promoting relaxation. So we can see that integrating our tools and our wisdom from yoga therapy to physiotherapists who might lack the ability for motivational interviewing, for personalized practices as we do in yoga therapy, for conducting, for integrating breathing, or for having the ability to relax the body in restoratives, or in Lagana practices, in nice sequence. This comes from yoga therapy to physiotherapy. And that's why a lot of students that are also yoga teachers that are also physiotherapists really appreciate this. On the other hand, what we integrate from yoga therapy to psychotherapy is that we have, and this is what a lot of psychotherapists usually lack, is that the bottom-up approaches, what we have in yoga, it's a mind and body practice. So we know how to relax or to empower, to lift the mood, or both, of course, sometimes needed, through the sequence, through the bottom-up approaches, which means from the body to the mind, from the body with expansive movements, with strong movements, with empowering movements. We lift, we change the posture, we lift the mood, we lift the energy. And on the other hand, when they are very stressed, we have the opposite. We have the way through the body to release tension and gradually relax and stay safe in stillness. So this is what we integrate in from yoga therapy, how we integrate yoga therapy to physiotherapy or to psychology. And I will give more specific examples, of course, at the presentation. So it's a very pragmatic, this kind of integration that we do and we share. And I hope it will be interesting presentation going through how the definitions of yoga therapy integration, the reciprocity of integration. This is very important to be equal. Integration must take place between equals and know the needs of each other. And of course, I will give examples of integration, and I will conclude with specific ways to integrate yoga therapy at the individual level, in multidisciplinary teams, and at the society level. Thank you.
Thank you. So, like, as yoga therapy continues to grow around the world, what would you say are the opportunities that excite you most for really bringing this whole person approach into healthcare, education, and communities? I know you touched on it like a little bit there, but if you can expand a little bit more for us.
What excites me is to cover needs. I don't have a more personal agenda than this. I can see that the global mental health, as Heather has mentioned, is worse than ever. It's not only in UK, it's global. It's global. And particularly in adolescents and children, which is our future. So this is a need that we can cover. We can work in integrating yoga therapy with other specialists, with other professionals, health professionals. I also see a need in oncology, being a member of International Society of Integrative Oncology, being presenter at conferences. There is a need of how to support people during the diagnosis in rehabilitation as soon as they say the bad news. So I go with the needs. Being members in associations, being a presenter at conference, I hear the needs, and this is an opportunity that we know that we can add something, if not cover, to add something. So no personal agenda. I like to listen.
That's the right approach, right? That's how we can cater to needs, by listening. So.
This is how you integrate. This is how you integrate. You cannot impose your agenda. It's what they need.
Agreed. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Evie, and thank you to all of our presenters who joined us today, and to all of you watching on social media or on our YouTube channel. If we piqued your interest and you'd like to experience these and many other inspiring presentations, be sure to register for Global Yoga Therapy Day 2026 at www.iayt.org/Global Yoga Therapy Day. All these sessions will be available to watch free for a limited time after the event. And as I mentioned earlier, CIAYTs can earn continuing education credits by completing a brief survey after the event. And if you're passionate about yoga therapy, we'd love your help spreading the word. Here are a few ways you can get involved. You can host a watch party in your community. You can offer a donation-based class and contribute the proceeds to a cause that aligns with the theme. You can promote your favorite session on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn using hashtag GYTD2026. Or simply tell a friend why you believe yoga therapy works. To support your outreach, you can explore our GYTD resource folder for downloadable materials. And be sure to visit our LinkedIn and Facebook event pages to see how others around the world are celebrating and to share how you're celebrating too. You can find the resource folder again on the IYT website, the Global Yoga Therapy Day homepage that I just mentioned before. And thank you again for everyone here, for everyone watching. We are really excited to celebrate with you on August 14th as we come together from around the world to explore the theme, Yoga Therapy Around the World, charting a course to integration and impact. And until then, stay well, stay connected, and keep sharing the healing potential of yoga therapy. We'll see you on August 14th. Thank you.
Okay, namaste everyone. Hope your grace is present.